Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're staying warm. I swear the entire country is like 30 degrees or lower. Even down here in southeast Texas, we hit 18 this morning when we woke up. The only place I see that is not having problems is South Florida. Earlier, temperatures were 78 degrees in Miami. Meanwhile, the rest of us are all bitter cold in this Arctic front or whatever. Anyway, I hope you're keeping warm. Hope you're having a good day. Um, I had a funeral this weekend, so I didn't do a show or anything. So we're going to be going back a few days in this show to last week. Some significant things happened in college basketball last week. We're going to go over those real quick. Got a lot of news items, man. People leaving, people getting hired at other places. We're going to go over all that. Before we start, hit that little subscribe button so you don't miss anything. With that, let's get started. I think the big news probably coming out of college sports, Nick Saban retiring after 28 years as a head coach. Started in 1990, his coaching at Toledo, where he went 9-2. I believe they won the MAC championship that year too. And that's when Michigan State came and got him. He was 95 and 99, or 95 and 99 at Toledo. At Michigan State, he was 34, 24 and 1. 2000 to 2004 at LSU, 48 and 16. Won the 2003 national championship, his first one. Did a 2-year stint with the Dolphins. Didn't go all that great. I think he's like 15 and 17 or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers. Then went to Bama. Yep, that's where all this what do you call it, dynasty stuff started. 2000, 2023, 201 and 29. Love the guy, hate the guy. It's a hell of a record for a head coach. 7 national championships, 12 conference titles, 11 SEC, and yeah, there it is right there. 1 MAC title there at Toledo. 19 bowl wins. Never had a losing season. That's awesome. Did finish 500, but that was twice at Michigan State, but that was it. Never had a losing season. Playing career, defensive back at Kent State. Played under the legendary Dogfather, Don James. They call him Dogfather when he went to Washington. Won all those conference titles and the national championship there back in the 70s, 80s, and into the early 90s. So, Bama, looking for a coach. What do they do? Hired Washington coach Kalen DeBoer, which I was kind of ticked about because I'm a Washington fan. But I understand. I mean, who here wouldn't go to another job if it offered more money? I mean, I think we all would. Hey, little tidbit here, okay? Some interesting things I found. Replacing legendary coaches, how it went for those schools, all right? Of course, we're going to see how Bama did. But back in the day, Bama, Bear Bryant retired. Took him 10 years to win another championship under Gene Stallings. Then another 17 years to win a second national championship. Texas, Darrell Royal, he retires 29 years until their next title. Ohio State, Woody Hayes retires 24 years until their next national championship. Georgia, Vince Dooley retires 41 years it took him to win another national championship. Nebraska, Tom Osborne, the great Tom Osborne retires. Still haven't won a national championship. Frank Solich took him to I think he took him to the national championship game. Pretty sure he did. Back in the early 2000s, I think they lost to Miami. Then they fired him. And Nebraska, they've had a couple, 2-3 good seasons since then. Should have never fired that guy because he did great things at University of Ohio. So yes, that's kind of some crazy tidbits, isn't it? So anyway, Washington, they turn around. They hired Jedd Fisch from Arizona. Turned that damn program around, didn't he? I think they ended up 10-3 this year after being bottom of the Pac-12 for the last several years. So, yeah, Washington fan, lost Kalen, but I'm looking forward to see what Jedd Fisch can do there. So Arizona now, they're looking for a coach. Who they hire? They hire San Jose State head coach Brent Brennan. Went 26-19 with the Spartans. He did spend time in Arizona back in 2000 under Arizona coach Dick Tomey. So he's got some Arizona ties there. Let's see what else we got. NCAA President Charlie Baker says Michigan won that national championship fair and square. Yeah, maybe. Okay. I mean, no argument here. I don't know what to say. Why he said that, I don't know what to say about it. I guess he loves Michigan. I don't know. Quinn Ewers, he's going to return to Texas next season. Speaking of Texas, Sarkisian and Texas agree on an extension to 2030, which makes you lead to believe that the reason Arch Manning is still at Texas is because of this right here. Because why would you ride the bench for 3 years as good as you've been promoted? Why else would you do it? It's got to be. I mean, why wouldn't you transfer? There's a lot of top teams that need a good quarterback, teams that can compete for a national championship, but he stays there riding the bench. I mean, unless he likes riding the bench, I don't know. Some people do. Some people just like to be part of the process, but not actually contributing to it. Some people do, but I just don't see him being like that. I think it's NIL that's keeping him there, but that's just my opinion. Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr., he declares for the draft. Ohio State lost a lot of people this year. USC's Caleb Williams, he enters the NFL draft. A lot of people say good for him. A lot of people laugh about it. I don't know, man. They did have that bad season this year, but I don't know. Washington State quarterback Cam Ward, he's going to transfer to Miami. Personally, I would have stayed at Washington State, but I don't know. I guess with all the realignment and the Pac-12 dying, he wanted to go somewhere. Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy, he's going to enter the NFL draft. And I'm sure we'll have more transfers and all that to come here in the next few weeks. Silly season, what they call it. Silly season in college football. Definitely has been, especially in this last weeks, all the way back into December. It's been kind of crazy. All right, so we're going to go back a week ago. Man, that 24 hours, last Tuesday and Wednesday, crazy crap happened, didn't it? Nebraska beat number 1 Purdue. Nebraska led by that game by 11 at the half. Led by Tamanega, 19 points, 5 for 9, 3-pointer. Mast, 18 points, 4 rebounds. Wilker, 16 points off the bench. Purdue's Gillis, he was the top scorer, 16 points. He came off the bench to do that. Edey, 15.7 rebounds. 3 others had double-digit points for Purdue that night. Nebraska shot 51% from the field. Purdue only shot 42%. Nebraska also scored 18 points off of turnovers in that game. So, the number 1 team went down. Same night, number 2 team goes down. Iowa State beats Houston 57-53. Iowa State actually had a 10-point lead at this game also. I mean, they were just on fire. Lipsy for Iowa State, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Monsilovic, 11 points, 3 rebounds. They were the only players with double-digit points in that win. That's kind of crazy. Sharp for Houston, 20 points, 5 rebounds. He hit 5 3-pointers in that game. Sheed, 14 points, 3 rebounds. No one else for Houston had double-digit points. Kind of crazy game. Here's what's really crazy. Both teams only shot 38% from the field. I mean, Iowa State was 20% for three-point line. U of H was 27% from the three-point line. Came down to free throws, 88% for Iowa State, 67% for Houston. Iowa State got out-rebounded. They only got 25 rebounds in that game. Houston got 32. They had 12 turnovers. Houston had 16 turnovers. Iowa State did score 17 points off those turnovers, where Houston only scored 6. Iowa State, 22 points in the paint. Houston only 18 points in the paint. Iowa State had more fouls, too. 19 fouls. Houston only had 12. Crazy-ass game. And then you go into Wednesday saying, how can we top that? Central Florida beats Kansas, 65-60. Kansas actually led by 8 at halftime. Central Florida Sellers, 18 points, 4 for 7 from the 3-point line. Johnson, 17 points, 6 assists. Kansas, McCullough Jr., 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Dickinson, 12 points, 4 rebounds. Central Florida, 42% from the field, where Kansas was 51% from the field. Central Florida, 35% from 3-point line. KU, 33%. Central Florida, 78% from the free throw line. Kansas was 55% from the free throw line. UCF got out-rebounded by a few. They had 28 rebounds. Kansas had 32 in that game. UCF did score 18 points off of turnovers and scored 26 points in the paint. Kansas, more turnovers and more fouls in Central Florida. I could have did a minute of that game. And so after all that, you say, well, how can we top that? 3 top teams losing? Well, we're going to have a 4th top team losing on Wednesday night. Mississippi State beat number 5 Tennessee 77-72. Hubbard for Mississippi State, 25 points, 5 3-pointers. Came off the bench to do that. Smith, 23 points, 4 rebounds. He was 9 for 12 from the free throw line. Neck for Tennessee, 28 points, 6 rebounds. He scored 4 of those were 3-point shots. Ziegler, 26 points, 7 assists. He also had 4 3-pointers in that game. No other Tennessee players had double-digit points in that game. Mississippi State, 50% from the field. Tennessee was 46. Bulldogs, 33% 3-point land. Tennessee was 28%. Mississippi State, 70 from the free throw line. Tennessee, 63% from the free throw line. Mississippi State, 20 points off of turnovers, but Tennessee did have 24 points off of turnovers. Mississippi State, 36 points in the paint. Tennessee, only 32 points in the paint. Tennessee did have 4 more fouls in this game than Mississippi State did. So those 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, that was some crazy-ass crap. And it's only January, too. That's what's cool about it. It's only January this kind of stuff happened. Man, we still got the rest of this month, February, a little bit of March. Man, I love this time of college basketball season. It just gets crazy. Thursday, some close games for ranked teams. Number 10, Illinois beat Michigan State 71-68. Close game the entire game. Illinois found a way to win that one. Santa Clara beat number 23 Gonzaga 77-76. Difference was a 3-point shooting. 9-2 in Santa Clara's favor. So, number 24, Florida Atlantic beat Tulane 85-84. Late foul by Tulane on a 3-point shot sent Elijah Martin to the free throw line for Florida Atlantic. He hit 2 out of 3 of those shots to win that game. So, close games. Almost had some big-time upsets again. But those ranked teams held that off. Okay, Friday, you had 9-8 Milwaukee beat 11-7 Cleveland State, 88-80. Cleveland State actually led by 11 at halftime. 12-5 Indiana beat 12-4 Minnesota, 74-62. 7-8 Niagara beat 9-7 Fairfield, 96-72. Niagara led by 16 points at halftime. 6-12 Robert Morris beat 13-5 Purdue Fort Wayne, 91-88. Corbin for Robert Morris, 28 points, 8 for 12 from the 3-point line. Nice game for him. 10-6 Iowa beat 13-4 Nebraska. 6 Iowa players had double-digit points in this game. Freeman, 22 points, 10 rebounds for the Hawkeyes. 12-4 Boise State beat 15-2 Nevada, 64-56. Deeganhart for Boise State, 20 points in that one. Saturday, number 1 Purdue, they bounced back, beat Penn State 95-78. Edey for Purdue. Man, after that game he had Tuesday, he said, enough of this. 30 points, 20 rebounds. Hell of a game for him. The team was 11 for 24 from the 3-point line. They shot 58% from the field. Houston. Lost its second game in 3 days. TCU beat them 68-67 on a last-minute shot by Manuel Miller. So they upset Houston there at home. Houston got to get things turned around. Number 3, Kansas beat number 9, Oklahoma, 78-66. Dickinson for Kansas, 24 points, 14 rebounds. McCullough Jr., 21 points. He was 10 for 11 from the free throw line. Number 5, Tennessee, they bounced back. They beat Georgia, 12-4 Georgia, 85-79. Tennessee had 36 points in the paint. Georgia only 18 in that game. Overtime game. This was a great game. I enjoyed it thoroughly, of course. 10-6 Texas A&M beat number 6 Kentucky 97-92. Took overtime to do it, but they did it. Taylor the fourth for A&M, 31.6 rebounds. Radford, 28 points, 9 rebounds. Kentucky, Reeves had 22.6 rebounds, 42% from the field. 11 turnovers for Kentucky. Aggies scored 14 points on those. They outscored Kentucky in overtime 8-3. So they really poured that defense on in overtime. Number 7, North Carolina beat 11-5 Syracuse 103-67. 5 Tar Heel players had double-digit points in that game. 12-5 Washington State beat number 8 Arizona 73-70. Jones for Washington State, 24 points, 13 rebounds. Great game for him. Washington State, 46% from the field. Arizona was only 35%. Washington State was 31% from three-point land. Arizona only 29%. They shot 81% from the free throw line, where Arizona only shot 62% from the free throw line. Love was their leading scorer, 28 points, 8 rebounds. He had a good game. They only lost by 3. So, number 11, Duke beat Georgia Tech 84-79. Duke's Filipowski, 30 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 for 5 from three-point line, 6 for 11 from the free throw line. Hell of a game for Filipowski. This one, another one I watched, pretty good. Number 14, Baylor beat 12-4 Cincinnati, 62-59. Game was actually tied at 27 at halftime. Baylor kind of turned it on there in the second half. Not by much, though. But they kept it going good enough to win. Number 15, Wisconsin beat 12-4 Northwestern, 71-63. Klesmit for Wisconsin had 24 points in that one. Number 16, Auburn beat 10-6 LSU, 93-78. Number 18, BYU beat 10-5 Central Florida, 63-58. 14-3 New Mexico beat number 19 San Diego State, 88-70. New Mexico State had 13 points off of turnovers in that game. Number 20, Utah State beat UNLV 87-86 by scoring 5 points in the last 8 seconds. I didn't see the game. I just read about it. I was like, wow. Number 21, Clemson beat Boston College 89-78. Let's see what else we got here. Number 22, Creighton beat St. John's by 1 point. Hey, that's a win. Troy Alexander hit a late free throws for the win in that game. 6-10, West Virginia beat number 25, Texas, 76-73. Sumanik for West Virginia, 16 points, 6 rebounds. Abrams for Texas, 13 points. He was 7 for 13 from the free throw line. West Virginia, 45% from the field, as was Texas. West Virginia, 41% from three-point line, as was Texas. West Virginia, 66% from the free throw line, but Texas was better, 76% from the free throw line. But Texas did have more fouls and more turnovers in this game, so could have been the difference. Sunday, 11-6, Maryland beat number 10 Illinois, 76-67. Maryland's Young, 28 points, 8 assists. Reese, 20 points, 11 rebounds. Illinois, Domask, 26 points, 4 rebounds. Good, 13 points, 6 rebounds. Maryland shot 46% from the field. Illinois, only 33%. That's not Illinois-esque. I guess you could say that, huh? Not Illinois-like. How about that? Not Illinois-like. Maryland, 52 points in the paint. Illinois, 26. Number 4, UConn beat Gonzaga, or Georgetown. I'm sorry, UConn beat Georgetown, 80-67. Carabon, 26 points for UConn. Number 13, Memphis beat Wichita State, 112-86. 3-point game at halftime. 6 Memphis players and double-digit points in that game. Number 24, Florida Atlantic beat UAB, 86-73. UAB had a 19-point lead at halftime. Blew it. Davis for Florida Atlantic, 30 points, 8 rebounds. 11-5, Tulane beat Tulsa, 95-87 in overtime. They were out. Green Wave was outscored by Tulsa, 16-9 in overtime. Crazy, huh? 12-6 La Tech. 12-6 La Tech beat 11-7 Liberty. Wait, that's not right. 11-5 Tulane beat Tulsa. Green were outscored. I have it written wrong. Green Wave outscored Tulsa 16-9 in overtime. The way I read it, the way I first saw it, I was like, wait a minute, that can't happen. Anyway, okay, there we go. Now we're straight. 12-6 La Tech beat 11-7 Liberty, 80-76 in overtime. 11-5 UNC Wilmington beat Delaware, 79-74. 9-7 Stanford beat 12-5 Utah, 79-73. Stanford's Raynaud, 20 points, 11 rebounds. Yesterday we had some games on MLK Day. Number 17 Marquette beat 11-6 Villanova, 87-74. Marquette's Jones, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, followed by Colic, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists. 7-10 Michigan beat their rival Ohio State, who's 12-5, 73-65. That win snaps a 5-game losing streak. So Michigan's beat Ohio State. Football, now basketball. See what happens because they're probably going to play again. And we'll see what happens in softball and baseball. 14-3 George Washington beat 13-5 George Mason, 75-62. George Washington's Buchanan, 21 points. 12-3 Cornell beat Penn, 77-60. Penn led by 2 at halftime. 14-1 Princeton beat Dartmouth, 76-58. Alico for Princeton, 25 points in that game. 11-6 St. Joseph's beat LaSalle, 82-62. Brown for St. Joe's came off the bench, 19 points. He was their leading scorer. 11-6 Iowa beat 12-5 Minnesota, 86-77. Iowa's Cricky, 25 points, 5 rebounds, followed by Dix, who had 21 points. 11-6 Boston College beat Notre Dame, 63-59. Boy, Notre Dame, they're just kind of off when it comes to basketball the last couple of years. 9-15 Chicago State. They beat 11-8 Stetson, 77-70. I don't think Chicago State's going to make the tournament, but they come up a few times this year. Northwestern was one of them a few weeks ago and just kind of beat teams they shouldn't. Here's another one, beat Stetson. So, like I said, I don't think they'll make the tournament, but it's kind of interesting to watch them this year. 11-6 Yale beat Columbia, 89-70. McNeese Cowboys out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. They are 15-2 now. They beat Lamar 88-69. So that is it. Stay warm, thaw out. I know for us down here, this stuff is going to end tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be like 18 in the morning, but in the afternoon it's going to be 55, and then it's going to keep going up from there. So hopefully, got a fire truck out here for some reason. Anyway, hey, we will see you probably Sunday. So stay warm, thaw out, and we will see you next time. Bye.